Drake, from poverty to global stardom. Before Drake became a household name, before the Grammy Awards and billions of streams, he was just a kid from Toronto facing obstacles that would break most people. Born Aubrey Drake Graham on October 24, 1986, Drake grew up in a world of contradictions. His father, Dennis Graham, was a drummer who had worked with legends like Jerry Lee Lewis, but his music career had faded. His mother, Sandy, was a Jewish Canadian teacher who raised Drake primarily on her own after his parents divorced when he was only 5. Drake's early years were spent in Forest Hill, one of the more affluent neighborhoods in Toronto, but don't let that fool you, life wasn't easy. After the divorce, his mother struggled financially. They lived in the basement of a 2-story house to make ends meet. Drake later said that while the address may have sounded nice, their actual situation was far from glamorous. His mother was very ill for long periods, and money was tight. He was often bullied at school, both for being biracial and for coming from a struggling single-parent home in a wealthier district. Things began to change when Drake was 15 years old. Through a friend's father who was an acting agent, Drake landed a role on the Canadian teen drama Degrassi. The next generation is Jimmy Brooks, a basketball star who ends up in a wheelchair after being shot. The job paid around $40,000 a year, just enough to help his mom pay the bills. While it wasn't a glamorous role, it was a lifeline. But Drake had a bigger dream: music. By the mid-2000s, he began releasing mixtapes online, often recording in his makeshift home studio. His early work was inspired by artists like Jay-Z and Kanye West, but he brought his own emotional vulnerability and unique flow. His 2007 mixtape Comeback Season included the underground hit Replacement Girl, and the video became the first by an unsigned Canadian rapper to be featured on BET. Despite that small breakthrough, Drake was still unsigned and broke. He later described how he would borrow studio time, live off scraps, and hustle every connection he had. Many record labels didn't see a future in its singing actor from Canada trying to rap. But that didn't stop him. Everything changed with his 2009 mixtape So Far Gone. Released for free online, it featured songs like Best I Ever Had, which exploded on the charts. Suddenly, the kid from Toronto was getting calls from the biggest names in hip-hop. One of those names was Lil Wayne. Wayne invited Drake to tour with him and eventually signed him to Young Money Entertainment. From that point forward, Drake's rise was unstoppable. His debut studio album, Thank Me Later, dropped in 2010 and debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. But he never forgot where he came from. In interviews, Drake often reflects on the tough days, the nights he doubted himself, the years of being overlooked, the pain of watching his mother suffer while he tried to build something from nothing. That struggle became part of his identity. He channeled his pain into poetic lyrics, blending rap with R&B in a way few had done before. Today, Drake is one of the most influential and successful artists in music history. He has broken records once held by the Beatles and Michael Jackson. He's sold millions of albums, earned countless awards, and built an empire that extends beyond music into fashion, sports, and business. But what makes Drake's story so powerful isn't just the fame or the money. It's the fact that he came from a place of hardship, worked relentlessly, believed in himself when no one else did, and turned his pain into purpose.